Hi guys, today I am going to be showing you how I make a dish that has kind of been passed down, but sort of, I don't know. I'm not sure where the recipe first came from. I know that the recipe that I have is in my grandmother's handwriting, so I assume that it was hers, and then she got it from somewhere, probably a book. I don't know. But it's a broccoli casserole. Sort of like the green bean casserole, but with broccoli. Anyway, this dish is one that I always make at Thanksgiving, and it's one I always remember from Thanksgivings when I was younger, except I didn't like broccoli back then, so I didn't eat it. But now that I do like broccoli, I absolutely love this dish. I wouldn't say it's healthy, though, because it's not at all. So yeah. So, let's get started. Okay, so for this dish, you are going to need about 16 to 20 ounces of broccoli. Frozen broccoli is fine. It's got to be chopped broccoli. It's got to be pieces of broccoli. For this to work, you can technically make your own. I mean, buy fresh broccoli and boil it and then drain it and pat it dry. But I just get frozen broccoli from the store and then thaw it out and pat it dry between some paper towels, and I'm good to go. You're also going to need 2 eggs well beaten. You're going to need a can of cream of mushroom soup, or you could use cream of chicken soup if you really want to. You're going to need a cup of mayonnaise and a cup of shredded cheese, although this is way more than a cup, and that's totally fine. And then you're going to also need an onion and some butter. So like I said, you're going to take all the broccoli, the frozen broccoli, and just make sure that it's dry enough, because if it's not dry enough, then the whole mass can kind of turn soupy, and that's no bueno. You also can make breadcrumbs as like a topping. I'm going to use panko mixed with melted butter to make this, put over the top. But anyway, you're going to only need 4 tablespoons of onion, so you can get a small one, or, you know, I'm also making stuffing for Thanksgiving, so I'm going to take a tiny bit of this for this recipe and then leave the rest for the stuffing. And we're going to need 4 tablespoons of the butter, which is going to mix with the breadcrumbs to make the topping. You can use any kind of breadcrumbs, really, but the crunch really does give it something extra special. So anyway, you're going to set your oven to 350 degrees, and so basically I'm going to combine pretty much all of this except for the broccoli. So I'm going to put in the eggs, the cream of mushroom, the mayo, the cheddar cheese, and the onion, and salt and pepper. And I'm going to mix that all up in here, and then I'm going to fold in the broccoli. That way it's not overly mixed. And don't forget to put salt and pepper, of course. And then I'm going to put it into a baking dish. So I usually, it depends on how much I make, because I've been known to double or triple the recipe because I love this so much that I could eat this by itself. But I would just say a regular, 9 by 13 baking dish is totally fine. If you make it too dense, then it does get a little soupy then too, so better to just have it there. So I'm just going to chop up this onion real quick, and then we're going to get started with folding everything into the bowl. chopped up all the onions, I'm just going to take, like, I'm using an actual teaspoon, but I'm just kind of like, arbitrarily kind of putting some in there. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the eggs. Make sure they're beaten beforehand. That way it's just way easier to incorporate everything. Put in the cup of mayo. The whole can of cream of mushroom soup. I mean, clearly you can use low sodium if you want. Some light mayo if you're worried about calories and things like that. That's totally up to you to make it a, you know, a healthier dish. And all the cheese. Yeah, you're gonna be in the thing if you don't move. Okay. So I'm just gonna take a big spoon and stir all this together. It's not gonna look particularly appetizing, to be quite honest, but it's gonna taste really good, and that's what matters, right? Now I'm gonna add salt and pepper into this. And my grandmother always just said to salt and pepper it to taste. So, I mean, you can, like, you know, give it a taste and see if it's too. So, like I said, doesn't look that appetizing, but I promise it tastes really good if you like broccoli. Now we're going to fold in the broccoli. Okay, so that's all mixed together. I'm going to go put this in a buttered, make sure it's buttered, baking dish, and then I'll show you how to make the topping. Okay, so I have decided on a old Corningware dish, which is 2 quarts. But it doesn't say how, like, what that by that is. But I think it's gonna work. Let's hope. Now, I've never made this with anything other than broccoli because that's just how we've always had it. But it might be good with some other kind of frozen vegetable. I would be interested in trying the actual green bean version of this with the same other ingredients, just with green beans. Anyway, so I have taken butter, melted it, and combined it with panko, and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the top. I don't really know how much panko, because it doesn't really say on my recipe, but, you know, I just put a little bit and then see if it's enough to cover everything, and if it isn't, add some more. And there's the finished product. I wouldn't put the cover on, just because it doesn't really need it, because you're trying to brown and crisp up the top. So you're going to cook this at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes. So you're basically just making sure that everything is cooked all the way through. The only thing you gotta really worry about is the eggs. But 35 to 40 minutes is definitely long enough to make sure that everything is really warm and good. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you liked this video. I'll be back hopefully either sometime this week or next week with more HelloFresh videos. I might try and find some other stuff to do. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe hit the subscribe button. Alright, bye.